Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today on the first series of my channel, we're going to look over Soul Eater, book 1. Now, Soul Eater is a story called by is a manga created by Atsushi Okubo. The main premise of the story is about people that can turn into weapons and people that use them to fight against monsters. These monsters are called Kishin. Now, the people that use the weapons are called Meisters, and the people that are weapons are called, well, weapons. And every time a Kishin is killed by a Meister using the weapon person, their soul gets materialized into a ball with a little tail that just wisps around. The weapon person then eats the soul, and then that's pretty much their food. But not entirely, they still eat human food. The goal of every weapon or Meister, the goal of every Meister is to get their weapon to eat 99 human souls or Kishin souls and 1 witch soul. Each time they eat a Kishin soul, that's 1 more added to the list. Now, mainly follow the Meister Maka Alborn. She is the daughter of Death Scythe. The Death Scythe is a weapon that has eaten 99 Kishin souls and 1 witch soul, and is now Lord Death's weapon. Maka's dad is a little eaten 99 Kishin souls and 1 witch soul, and are now Lord Death's weapon. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Maka's dad is a little stir-crazy and overprotective because of the divorce between Maka's mom and her dad. Despite all that, Maka does what she can to make Soul, which is the second main character of the story, a Death Scythe. Throughout the first book, she goes through ups and downs. Soul and Maka gets really upset at Soul because she kind of maybe likes Soul, but it's not really confirmed. But we do know that she gets really upset when he's with other girls. So, to talk about the story, in the very beginning of the book, it shows Maka killing Jack the Ripper, who is a Kishin soul. Soul then eats the Kishin soul that comes out, and that is his 99th Kishin soul. Now that he is eaten, they're going to go after a witch soul. So before that, they talk to Lord Shinigami, who is Lord Death. Now, to talk about Lord Death. Lord Death, or Shinigami in Japanese, means Lord Death in English. So, that means that he's the god of death. But he's not like the Grim Reaper. He doesn't take lives. I mean, he takes witch souls, but he used to do that in his past. But we get into that when we get to the other books later in the series. So, for the beginning, let's talk about Lord Death. Let's talk about Lord Death, or Death Scythes. So, every goal for a weapon is to eat 99 Kishin souls and 1 witch soul, right? Well, that then turns them into a Death Scythe. Now, weapons, they vary. Soul, who's Maka's friend, is a scythe, coincidentally. And Maka's dad is a scythe, coincidentally. Maka's a Meister, though. She gets it from her mom. Now, there are other characters, such as Tsubaki, who could turn into many different weapons. She turns into a chain scythe. Which is the thing that other character is holding. He's Black Star. We'll get into that into the next episode. So, she turns into a chain scythe and other things, and there are people that turn into guns. Those are the Thompson sisters. Now, there are people that turn into swords, and there are also people that can turn into knives and chainsaws. It varies between everything. There's somebody who turns into a guillotine, and that just sounds completely useless. So, even if they eat 99 Kishin souls and 1 witch soul, and they're not a scythe, they are called a Death Scythe. Why? Probably because Lord Death, they're gonna try to keep some part of the Grim Reaper in him, and he just calls every weapon a scythe. I don't know. It's confusing, but that's what this world is. It's crazy. I mean, the sun just looks thirsty all the time, and the moon looks like he's gonna molest somebody at any moment. It's a scary world. Now, Lord Shinigami, or Lord Death, runs a school called DWMA. Demon Witch... No. Death Weapon Meister Academy. Demon Witch... No. Death Weapon Meister Academy. This academy trains all meisters and weapons. Teaches weapons how to fight, or merge and turn and use their weapon form, and fight themselves by themselves if they're able to. And it teaches meisters how to do a soul resonance, or fight better with their people. So, think about people, meisters, and weapons as a guitar and an amp. Normal meisters can fight with their wavelength. Usually it's like kind of like everybody's superpower. They use their wavelength. So basically treat their wavelength and the person by themselves as a normal electric guitar. But then as soon as they use a weapon that resonates with their soul, two people that resonate with each other, treat that person as an amp. Now that amp gives an immense amount of power. Now some people aren't able to have that much power because they just, don't work together really well. And some people just have a limit of what their soul can take. This shows when, some people start dying, I think. Just people start dying. Now, enough with that. Lord Shinigami, pretty goofy dude. Cool hand. He does karate chop stuff. So cool. Now let's get back to the story. The first scene after they talk to Lord Shinigami is a scene with Maka and Soul talking in front of Blair the cat's, home. So, Blair the cat. Yes, cat. She's not a witch. She is not a witch, and Soul and Maka think she is. Now, there's a problem with that, because she's not a witch, and they need to eat a witch soul, and they're going after a cat. So there's already some raised flags. So, they just charge in there because, just charge in. Soul goes flying through the roof and on top of Blair. The worst part is, Blair is taking a bath. He lands on her, she gets flustered, and then Maka comes in and gets super upset. Like I said, she gets upset when Soul's around other girls. He gets the bloody nose because anime, because she's taking a bath, and she kicks him, and the goofy stuff's over. She's still flustered, and then apparently she just automatically dressed. She's just automatically dressed, and it makes no sense, but it's just fine. Atsushi, you do what you want. Just copyright. No. Demonetization. No. Atsushi, do what you want. Whatever. Okay, just get on with the story. Okay. So, after that, they start fighting. They lose. It's funny. Blair uses pumpkins that explode. Pumpkin grenades. And she just fights with that. She's on a floating pumpkin. It's hilarious. After that, they come back. They lose again. They come back. They lose again. They come back the fourth time, and they don't lose. Soul goes to Blair's side. Blair always had a thing for Soul, and Blair wants to be with Soul. Soul then gives in and says, fine, I'll be Blair's side. And Maka then thinks, she gets really upset, and she says that all boys are the same. They always go for the hotter girl. Then Soul says, I would never stoop that low. I'm cool, because he's emo and cool. So, he then turns his arm that's around Blair into a scythe arm, and he says, Maka, you know what to do. He changes into his full scythe form, and then Maka runs at him, and they chop Blair's head off. It doesn't show this, but you know that they chop Blair's head off, because that's the only thing the blade was. So that's the only thing they could have done. So, she dies, and then her soul, materializes. A soul! No, my mic. Oh, shoot. No, my mic. So, after that, So after that, Soul eats Blair's soul. And then it's pretty funny, anticlimactic. He gets like in his Super Saiyan form where he's about to transform and a bunch of scythes come out of his body and nothing happens. It's just the repercussions of not eating a witch soul. They have to start back from for zero because Blair comes out and shows her cat form and says, "Oh, I'm not a witch." They then go feel really bad and stupid, and Maka just gets super upset. Now, that's basically the end of part 1. There's basically 3 or 4 parts in the book, and I'm going to explain that in separate videos. So, since this is the end, please make sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, and I'll see all you guys in the next video. Bye-bye! Bye-bye!